everyone and welcome to Let's Play Super Metroid. On this episode we're going to complete Maridia a bit and move on from there. Also want to apologize for the lack of videos in the last week. I was sick and let's just say I'm recovered now, so that's good. Allergy season, sinus infection season, all that fun stuff. Plus it gave me a chance to play ahead for a few games that I'm going to Let's Play in the near future. I like how as the speed booster you don't sink through the first one, so at least they were thoughtful in the physics of that. And now that we got the plasma beam, life is a whole lot easier. It's one of the more powerful weapons in the game, that's for sure. I'm also thinking about what I want to do for bonus content. Well, I'll get to that. There's still some options. And I may do bonus content for another video I completed a Let's Play of earlier. I'm not sure about that one yet, but if you see an update, subscribers, about that video, well, you'll know. That's not a really tricky maneuver up there to get all of that. So there's really not much to explain in this video in terms of special moves. I mean, most of the special moves that we've completed have already been done. So that's one thing about this route that I like. Maybe it's the game that, to do a good speed run, 100% speed run, most of the really tough tricks are done early on. I don't know if that's by design or what, because most people will get tired, but there you have it. And don't forget we forgot something over here. But now that we've got the space jump, it makes that jump a little easier. Probably wasted some time there getting rid of those enemies, but now that we have the plasma beam, these enemies up here will be a whole lot easier. And of course, the spring ball is helpful as well. And if you jump up there, instead of going underneath the whole area, it's a lot quicker. Thankfully, the range on the power bomb isn't that bad, and we managed to cover everything there. Now as we have the speed booster, this is obviously a lot easier to take care of. You don't have to do a mock ball or anything. And with the spring ball, this makes this a lot easier too, because you can just take a shortcut. It's very nice being the ice beam. It'll make life a little easier. Well, in one section of the game, anyway. And no, it's not the section you think... Well, it's not the section you think I might be talking about, it's another section. Or maybe it is the section you think I'm talking about. Well, it's helpful in at least two sections. How about that? I'll compromise for you. Now here is just an easy thing. Just jump here and shoot, and you'll be able to get the missile without a problem. Let me know if you have questions about that there, but I didn't think that was one of the things to do a frame by frame of. Because technically you can still wall jump and shoot and wall jump and get up there. And with a space jump, well, you can still get up there. I wish they didn't put that there. It's kind of a... well, it kind of slows you down a little bit, but there's nothing you can do about it, really. And that makes that room a whole hell of a lot easier with the gapping walls, because we don't have to use the grappling hook. Now you can tell where we're headed. If you couldn't guess already, we're going to one of my favorite parts of the game. And I like how there's two different types of magma or lava. This lava with a gravity suit doesn't hurt us, but then we get to Deep Norfair, which is where we're headed, and we start finding a lot thinner lava, which indicates it's a lot hotter, and the hotter lava will really hurt us, or at least will damage us with a gravity suit. And I like that they did that, you know. Here's the thin lava. And I don't know if that's the way magma works in real life, if it gets thinner when it's hotter. I guess so, because when it gets cooler it turns solid, so it makes sense, I suppose. There are a lot of hidden areas in Norfair and Deep Norfair. And I like how Deep Norfair and Norfair kind of connect to each other, but if you look at the main map, which you'll see at the end of this episode, some of the parts of regular Norfair are about the same levels as Deep Norfair. So, if they did that just so they could connect it back up and give you some secret areas, I like that they did that. And the enemies are a whole hell of a lot tougher here, too. The enemies here are some of the toughest enemies in the game. Not the toughest, but some of the toughest enemies in the game. And we still gotta go item collecting for a bit. Even when we take care of Norfair. And I'm not going to be dealing with Spore Spawn in the main LP, but in the bonus episode there's going to be something I'll show. Definitely. This is the best way to take care of this guy. It's just easier that way. And honestly, the charged up plasma rifle is more powerful than a super missile, which I know, we're gonna get to a situation where I just didn't think about it and I resorted back to old habits, so fair warning, but whatever. I think the biggest time in this Let's Play that I could have shaved off would have probably been with Phantoon and Draygon. Probably could have shaved off about 5 or 10 minutes there with that, but such is life. Now, of course, as the screw attack, you are pretty much invincible. And that's pretty nice. And I did that just so I can get some super missiles, which was kind of stupid because I had the have the charged up plasma beam, but oh well. But I pointed out at least you could get super missiles there if you wanted them. We can easily take care of these Zebesians with the screw attack. I made a mistake there, I'm aware. And I made a mistake there as well. But that wasn't a huge mistake. Not like the Phantoon mistake I made. But still a respectable time and a respectable speed. Also, this room's kind of funny. I call it the Mickey Mouse room. Or the Heart room. It's kind of a strange room. I guess the developers had the space for a room, so they said, we'll create one there. Make it look weird, I guess. I don't know. I like how the Zebesians now are starting to get sort of immune to the plasma beam, and so you have to use the screw attack to get rid of them. And I like also that there's so many levels of Zebesians, the space pirates, you know. It adds to the challenge. Now this section, I never was quite sure why this whole section was kind of hidden, but I guess they expected you to get the map or the X-ray scope and kind of figure this out on your own. Or at least your friends could say, hey, you know, there's another enemy in here somewhere. But, you know, the golden statue that leads to Torion, I mean, it's pretty obvious if you haven't defeated all the boss enemies yet. It's pretty obvious there's probably going to be a boss enemy in this section, because there's one in Brinstar, there's one in Maridia, there's one in the wrecked ship, you know, and there's a mini-boss in the Norfair. And so it would probably stand to reason that there's a, if you hadn't played this game before, that there's a major boss in Lower Norfair. Plus, you gotta remember that Ridley stole the baby Metroid and he flew away. And so, where did Ridley go? Well, yeah. These are some of the more powerful Zabesians. Pretty much immune until they turn gold. They're not that bad. They do give you a little bit of trouble sometimes. And at least for me, they're kind of hard to predict. But they are, they do have somewhat of a pattern. Or maybe they're not hard to predict, or maybe I was just getting tired at this point. But it's the strat that I did for that. It's a little different than what I normally do. Here I'm just getting a few extra super missiles and items just in case. I didn't want to leave anything to chance because the run was going well at this point. And I figured that if I was going to get it under an hour and 30, that I could save some time here. And of course here we did deal with Ridley. Now here there's a way, right when he turns up here, where you can use a power bomb at a specific time and damage him earlier. But I didn't think to do that. And this has always been my original strategy, although I know it's not the best, and my plasma weapon, or plasma rifle charged up would probably be better. But I managed to at least give it some damage with the super missiles. Here I just kind of jump and point my super missiles at him and try to make sure as many land as possible. And I have so many regular missiles now that it's like, why not use them up? Also, I like how the bosses kind of change color. Sprites change color and change palettes as you damage them. And that gives you a nice indication of how far you've damaged the enemy. Like Kraid turns brownish, Ridley turns a reddish color. You know. It's a nice touch from the game. It really is. That's one thing I liked about Super Metroid, is that they really had an attention to details. And here, you know, it looked like he was guarding a baby Metroid, but it's gone now. So, where'd it go? And of course, if you've played Metroid before, you know who the real boss enemy's gonna be. But I like that there's a little plot twist towards the end of this game. And we're not going to cover that in this episode, obviously, because this episode's going to be done pretty soon. But if you haven't played the game before, I encourage you to play it. It's a fun game. One of the better platform games that was ever developed, I think. That's what makes a good platform game good. Lots of power-ups, lots of hidden areas, lots of secret areas. Acrobatic tricks that you can complete and learn. That helps you get to other secret areas, or completes the game faster. Very good and very sharp play control also helps, and that's one thing that Super Metroid had, in abundance. And it's not very glitchy or buggy, although there are a few glitches that people discovered recently, but you're not normally going to find these glitches in the game. Good music, good sprite work, good graphics. And it used the console really well, the Super Nintendo. Well, the console's capabilities, anyway. And don't forget Energy Tank here. We've got one more to get, and we'll get it in the next episode. But we're almost done with Norfair, or at least Old Norfair. Now we've got to work our way back up to regular Norfair. It'll take some time. I like these little boulders here. At any rate, here's the route that we took for this episode, so thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.